This week we're not too far from home. We're just at the west of the CRD region in a little community of Metchosin, a thriving farming community. And we're going to go and see some of those farms in action. But first of all, I have to wear something a little more appropriate. I'll be right back. Something like that. I'm not so sure about the hat though.
Okay, so the hat might have been wrong, but I certainly need the boots. I'm visiting Parry Bay Farm, home to around 300 ewes. A few other animals, and farmer John Buchanan.
No, John, I mean, this is an absolutely spectacular vista here for, you know, it's almost too good for the sheep, isn't it?
There's nothing happier than a warm, sunny day, a ewe and a lamb sitting out here.
The farm has been here for 30 years, and John strives to farm sustainably, using manure as a fertilizer when possible, and rotating crops for maximum soil health.
Got into farming because we liked the animals, and you know, you look at the green grass. There's something special about sheep out on green grass.
All the sheep are very much free range, roaming the pastures for 9 months of the year.
Can you actually make money doing this? I mean, is this a viable way to make a living?
More so now than it ever was. In the last 3 or 4 years, it's really improved. You have to get relationships with the stores and the restaurants and the customers who you sell to, and that's what really stabilizes it.
The lamb raised here is sold locally. Customers include local restaurants, and the closest market is their very own farm stand, run by daughter Molly. The stand is at nearby Stillmeadow Farm and sells produce from both farms to local customers.
We have some pork, chicken, and we have lamb as well. And we sell eggs and bread from other farms and bakers.
And all made here in Metchosin?
All made here in Metchosin or in Victoria.
And just to clarify, you're only 17 years old?
Yes.
And you started this up?
Yes, with help from Parry Bay and
yeah.
from my parents and Tom and
So quite
Leo.
an entrepreneur at a young age. And do you find there's a growing market for locally produced food?
I find that especially with the young people, in their 20s and 30s, I find that people are always looking for a chance to buy local.
I'm visiting Metchosin, just 20 kilometers from Victoria, but it feels like we're in a traditional farming community. With peaceful beaches and houses which sit back on secluded acreages, Metchosin is a great place for escaping the city and slipping back to a slower pace of life. At the heart of the community is Metchosin Cafe, a Western-themed restaurant that has been serving up quality local food for 24 years. It's now an icon in the local community, and it's always full. Out in the kitchen, I met with Troy Ashdown, who is going to turn some ground Parry Bay lamb into Metchosin lamb burgers.
Start off with our Dijon mustard.
Okay.
And basil, oregano.
Okay.
Some black pepper.
So some nice flavors, just complementary flavors going in there.
Cumin, garlic, and our gluten-free breadcrumbs. We try to make everything gluten-free here.
Okay.
As best as possible.
A few eggs to bind the mix, and it's time for Troy to get his hands messy.
And then we just get in there with our
And
hands.
then it's all hands on deck kind of thing.
Yes, it is.
Now I understand you're a bit of a veteran to Metchosin Cafe, just about since the beginning.
Yeah, 25 years this August.
So have you got the gold watch?
I got quite a bit, so.
So the nice thing with these guys is that they're obviously handmade.
Yes, they
You know,
are.
they're the pre-formed grill marked.
Nope. We do all our burgers handmade here.
Yeah. So we're gonna hit the char grill. And these are like pretzel buns, yes?
They are pretzel buns, and then we load them up with tzatziki, red onions.
So we're just basically building a Greek salad on the bun here.
Pretty much, yes. Mayonnaise. Our hamburgers are Greek style, so we top it with feta.
Oh, nice.
It's our lamb burger.
I settled down to enjoy my burger with kitchen manager Todd Roselle, keen to find out more about this unique restaurant.
Metchosin Cafe is the hitching post of the community. It's the place you go to when you lose power. It's the place that you go to when there's a snowstorm. It's the place you bring your family. It's the place that everybody meets. it's right. It's the heart of the community.
I mean, it's right at the crossroads, isn't it? This is downtown Metchosin.
Yeah. And it brings everybody here. You know, my kids love coming here for ice cream and going out back and looking at the petting zoo. We try to use local products, the Portofino bread, Glenwood Meats, which is another butchery here in town that uses a lot of local products as well. We're looking into using more products from them, as well as looking into some of the other farms now that they're all starting to come into season. It helps take care of the local people around here. It's part of our community. If we don't help support them, they may not be able to help support us. You know, it's all about everyone helping each other.
Though it's only a few kilometers from Victoria, Metchosin can feel quite remote. Somewhere deep in the backwoods, in a small house barely visible from the road, two men are making sausages. The Galloping Goose Sausage Company has been hand-making their superb sausages in this small Metchosin house since 1994, and I'm delighted that company founder Johann Wessels is cooking up a selection for me to taste. Well, Johann, this is quite a spectacular little setup you've got here. This is a really nice little barbecue cart.
Especially built for, you know, going out to markets and so on.
Right. So you're from South Africa.
Yeah.
So is this something you did at home? Is this something you brought with you to Canada?
No. This sausage, I was just longing for some of it, so I started making it.
Right. So was this sort of trial and error, or did you have a specific recipe? Did you bring this recipe with you, or did you have somebody send you the recipe?
We did have a recipe on one of our visits, but it wasn't quite right. So I've just used my childhood memory of what I thought it should taste like, my grandmother's taste.
Yeah. They now produce around 28 different kinds of sausage, as well as smoked meats and bacons. So this is only a small sample from their range. The sausages got a bit mixed up while being served, but luckily I've got Kate Wessels to help me. Now, Kate, I understand you're the palate of the company, is what I've been told.
Yes, of course.
So you're going to sort of lead us through, and we're going to do a little bit of a taste test, aren't we? A little bit of a mystery.
Yes.
We'll between us figure out which each sausage is.
We did. We got the sausage on the dish, and I promptly forgot what the order was. So we'll go through it and
Perfect.
see what
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay.
I mean, the bacon is going to be...
The bacon, I know. Okay, the bacon. So the first one, we've barbecued some bacon.
Just look at the meat to fat
Yes,
ratio.
it is. It's quite nice and meaty, the bacon that we get. And this is our honey cured bacon. So it's a little bit sweet.
Two of the best products in the entire world, bacon and honey, combine them together and then barbecued them. Well,
So
I'm not even going to wait. I'm sorry. I'm just going to dive in here.
We're going to dive in. I want some too. I love it.
Oh, it's so tender and moist and juicy in the fat. Absolutely delicious.
And it's good on the barbecue. Now, you wouldn't really think to
Again,
put...
because of the meat ratio, it's not going to flare up quite too much, is it?
No, it won't. So now we have our plate of sausage. So this one I'm pretty sure is the Boerewors.
Okay. And this is
No.
the one Johann was telling us started the company.
This is the one that started the company. Yeah, that's the Boerewors. So it's a mixture of pork, beef, and lamb.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
it has thyme in it as well, but coriander and clove are the main spices in that.
Tastes like Christmas. The clove,
Well, it's those sort of spices.
That's right, those
Yeah,
mulled
yeah.
wine kind of spices.
Yeah, it is those
That
sort of
really
spices.
is
So it's an aromatic kind of spice.
right.
Yes. I think this is a curry sausage. Now the curry sausage is also based on a South African dish
Okay.
called babuti.
Babuti, okay.
Babuti.
Oh, look at how moist and juicy those are. Oh, Johann, you've done a wonderful job. They are cooked perfectly. I think people very often, they overcook sausages and they dry them out.
And that has raisins in it as well. Raisins and coconut.
Oh, that's delicious. And the
So-
curry is there without being overpowering. It's a very nice, balanced flavor.
Well, I make my own masala for that. So I grind the spices, and there's coriander, of course, in that as well. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. And the texture, it's got
It's
it's got
soft.
texture to it. That really
Yeah,
is
and
beautiful.
that is made from chicken.
So
Whereas
this is
the
a
other
chi-
one is the pork, beef, and lamb.
Right.
And I think this is Moroccan. And the Moroccan is one that I sort of made up the recipe, but it was a chicken recipe that I had seen
Okay.
that I really liked, and I thought that would make a nice sausage.
Right.
And it's got apricots and prunes and black olives in it, and the main spicing is garlic and oregano.
I'm in heaven already. I've not even tasted it yet. I can taste the souk. The market.
Oh, the souk, yes, of course.
The Moroccan markets, all the spices and the herbs that you smell when you walk through the souk in Morocco. Absolutely fabulous.
Okay, good.
Wonderful, wonderful sausage. So what's the meat in this one? This is a
This
chicken?
is also chicken.
This is also chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, nice texture with this because again, so many chicken sausages, they tend to grind it very, very fine and it's kind of got, it's kind of a pasty texture.
Yeah,
to it.
we don't. We put most of our sausages on a coarse grind.
Right.
And we do use a little bit of tapioca in
Okay.
with these guys, and that makes it more succulent.
It's beautiful,
So-
beautiful flavors.
I wasn't the only sausage enthusiast at the cart.
Back here we have a black dog who would really, really like
Is-
to help.
Patiently waiting, hoping something accidentally falls on the floor.
There you go.
I really love Metchosin. It's just such a fantastic community out there and they have such wonderful products. This week we're going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to hand over the kitchen to Chef Michael Williams from Country Grocer, who's going to do us a beautiful risotto dish with a little bit of a twist. Chef Michael, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So you're going to take the bull by the horns and show us how it's done?
For sure.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
well I'm
get
going
into
to let you get on and take her away.
So I'm going to be making a barley risotto today.
Okay. So no rice. We're not using
No rice, that's right.
Okay.
And the reason being barley is a little bit more of a whole grain
Yeah.
compared to the white rice, which we would get with arborio rice
Yeah.
for risotto. And you know what else? It's super easy. You don't have to stir it. You don't have to sit there,
No
add
stirring?
the stock,
This is a no stir risotto.
Well, one stir.
One stir,
One
okay.
stir, yeah.
Awesome,
So,
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while to cook the barley, so we might as well get that on the go right away.
Okay.
And I'm going to go 3 to 1.
Okay.
I'm sure with barley, 3 or 4 to 1
Yeah.
works.
So that's 3 parts chicken stock by volume.
Yeah.
To 1 part
Exactly,
barley.
yeah.
Okay.
So I've got 3 parts of
Okay.
our chicken broth, and if you went with 4, it's going to be a little bit softer and a little bit more gluey-ish.
Yep.
So
and of
as
course, if people want to do this as a vegetarian, they can replace that with a vegetable stock.
easily, yeah.
Or even just water.
even
seasoned
water. Yeah. If you don't have the stock on your hand, water works.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's
what
my
we
1 stir.
That's
Okay?
it?
That's it.
We don't have to. You don't want me to come over there and do any stirring while
No.
you're talking?
Make sure you don't stir it again, please.
Okay.
Okay.
All
okay.
right. Okay.
Once that comes to a boil, maybe I'll leave the lid off just so we can see. We'll get the lid on there.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to flavor this up with some mushrooms. We've got some mushrooms from Country Grocer. They've just launched a new line of organic and conventionally grown mushrooms.
Right.
The most inexpensive are the button mushrooms. I've got the brown ones because I find they've got a little bit more flavor. So we got some shiitakes,
Okay.
which of course are jumping up the price range. So
Yeah. So how long have you been with Country Grocer? Because you've been representing them for quite a while now.
I've been
haven't
with
you?
them for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
Came on when they were kind of starting to get into a new marketing program and wanting to bring in some new products, especially in the meat department.
Yeah.
Farmhouse poultry. We've
yeah.
got some farmhouse sausages, which we're
I
going to be
saw
using
those
today.
creeping over in the corner there, yeah,
That's the
yeah,
beer and
looking
mustard ones.
Oh,
so
excellent,
they're
excellent.
awesome. Also, they've had the Island Pastures beef, which I'm a big fan of. A cow in
Imagine
the field
that, beef
eating
grown
grass.
on the island, eating grass.
Eating grass.
And we can buy
what
it
it's
here on
supposed
the
to
island.
eat, right?
That's
Instead
right.
of grain that makes it fat
Yeah,
and
it's not
unhealthy.
been transported hundreds of kilometers
Yeah.
away and brought back again.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know that you can get beef from the island,
Yeah.
which I think is amazing. I love it. It's just great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to wash these up unless you want to.
I can give these a wash
Yeah,
for you. So we're just
okay.
going to give them a quick rinse.
Yeah.
Get the,
So in the meantime, I'm going to start chopping up an onion.
okay. And there we go.
Maybe I'll put the onion on hold for a second, just give these a quick chop, and I'm not going to be too fussy about this.
No, we want some nice
look
pieces
at that.
of mushrooms.
So our barley's boiling.
And you're still not stirring.
No,
Okay.
I'm not. So now I'm going to kick it, like I said, right down to minimum.
Okay.
What I want to do is make sure that there's always some steam coming out of here.
Yeah.
That way I know it's still simmering, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, we'll just chop these up roughly. And the shiitakes, I'm even just going to cut in half.
So what's your favorite sort of island products if you had to choose one or two?
Oh, the Island Pastures beef for sure. One
Yeah.
of my favorite products. I love cooking with that stuff. It's got such a great flavor. I know I'm eating a healthier animal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's very much tops on the list. So my pan is relatively hot, and I'm gonna just get some butter going in there. So that's all I'm going to put in for now. And once those get a little bit shrunken down and some of the moisture's released, at that point I can add some more.
Right. Right.
On to dicing the onion.
Yeah.
Going to make some levels. You haven't diced an onion before, hey? I'm going to show you how.
Okay, I'm paying. I'm watching here. I'm watching.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to cut it vertically. And then again,
we got diced onion. Look at that.
that's right. I'm going to get some sausages on the go as well.
Okay.
I've parboiled these, so
Okay.
they're pretty much cooked.
Yep.
And I'm just going to finish them off in the pan, brown them up a little bit.
Okay.
Add in some onions, and then add in a couple fresh chopped Romas
Okay.
as it is the season.
Yep.
And we'll let those tomatoes just kind of break down and create a bit of a mock sauce.
So again, something fresh, light, quick, and easy. I mean, this is
Yeah, totally.
This is really just coming together.
Nothing's coming out of a can here. So I got my onions, which are ready to go in now. Our sausages are browning away. Our barley's cooking. We'll put our tomatoes off to the side, and we're going to need some garlic for our mushrooms. I don't know many.
Garlic, mushrooms, garlic,
Yeah.
mushrooms, and butter. Well, it's the trinity, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. We'll go with maybe 4 cloves of garlic for what we're doing here today.
Okay.
And I'm just going to quickly chop that up and get it into my pan.
And of course, if you don't like garlic, don't put garlic in there.
Yeah,
This
totally.
is the sort of thing that I'm always striving to get people to understand about cooking. Recipes are great, but at the end of the day, if there's something you don't like, don't add it. If it's something you like, add more of it.
That's right. So I'm just going to keep my sausages rotating here. They're almost totally brown on all sides.
Yeah.
How many sides does a sausage have?
I don't know, a lot.
Well, I go with 5. I try to get 5 sides on a sausage. So I'm going to go ahead and get my onions in with my sausages now.
So a little bit of fat that came out of the sausages is now going to help cook the onion. We're going
Yeah.
with a little more butter in
Just
there.
another touch,
Beautiful.
just so we're not burning. And now we've had our garlic in here for about a minute or so. We'll give it a stir. We're a little bit dark on the bottom of the pan, but that's going to be okay. I'm just going to add a little bit of water. And what am I doing?
We're deglazing.
Deglazing. You don't need wine.
My
you don't need
French friend
alcohol.
says English seasoning.
Yeah. So those are done. I'm just going to give another touch of seasoning, just because my instinct tells me to.
Okay.
Tomatoes are ready to go into our
So those are going
sausage.
straight in with the sausages and the onions.
Yeah, and I'm just going to turn this down now to low. There's one touch that I want to add to my mushrooms.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit of fresh thyme.
Right. So you just basically strip it through your fingers just to
Yeah.
pull the leaves off?
You've never done that before.
Never.
No,
Never.
no.
Cases and cases and cases.
Oh boy, the good old days, eh? So we've got one last component, and that's some fresh parsley, which we're going to add once everything's said and done.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the same thing, just try to get rid of most of the stem action.
Yeah.
And just give this a rough chop. This is all it takes. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
That's,
Nice
pretty
fresh
roughly
finish.
chopped. Still wet from being washed. The organic stuff, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're prepared. We're ready to go. We're going
Okay.
to put this all together. So our barley has
Wow, look at
absorbed all of that liquid.
And no stirring.
I didn't stir it, right? So I'm just going to stir our sautéed mushrooms and onions.
And just the wonderful, wonderful flavors going on there.
I'm going to add some coconut milk in here too.
So you're kind of focusing on that thick stuff. A little bit of the
Yeah.
coconut milk there.
Definitely, that's going to help this dish out a little bit more. So, and then we're just going to stir it in.
Wow, look at that.
If you're looking to be dairy-free, obviously we could have done something else other than the butter.
Yeah.
And we're completely dairy-free here so far. We're going to stop that dairy-free right here and right now, though.
Yeah.
Got
yeah.
some Italian.
Because again, risotto, it really does.
Yeah, it
Without
needs the Parmigiano.
it needs the Parmigiano.
Yeah. So I'm just going to shave that right into there.
The Italian Parmigiano is the best there is.
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
there?
Yeah, there is no substitute for that.
No.
It is beautiful. So a little bit of parsley here. We don't need too much.
Yeah. A little bit of
We
fresh.
don't
a
want
little
to take it over. So we got our nice risotto here.
Yep.
We got our beer and mustard
Look at those guys.
sausages.
Oh, beautiful.
We'll add a little bit of
Golden
tomato
brown.
onto there. And then a little bit of a garnishing finishing touch. Just a couple.
Just a little more of that. Beautiful. Oh, look at that.
There we go.
Awesome.
So why don't you give it a try and tell me how I did.
Absolutely. Awesome dish.
Great.
Awesome dish, Michael.
Glad you liked it.
Thank you very much for coming in today
Hey,
and
you know
sharing
what?
with us.
It was all my pleasure. I had a lot of fun being here today.
It's a pleasure working with you. And those are some of the flavors of Metchosin. For all the great local recipes from season 1 and 2 of Flavours, see our brand new cookbook, available at a bookstore near you. Or go to our website, flavoursofthewestcoast.net, for a full listing of bookstores available.
Here at the Bard and Banker, we've chosen to pair the Lighthouse Race Rocks Amber Ale with a nice, rich, creamy style mushroom risotto.
The Race Rocks by Lighthouse really is their flagship beer. It's been around for quite some time. It was one of the beers that has really helped to cultivate the craft beer scene here in Victoria and really give us a lot of options to work with to provide our guests here at the Bard and Banker, and also is part of our 2 Mile beer diet program.
Well, Rod Phillips, Liquor Plus. I see a bunch of reds in front of me.
You know what's beautiful about this is it's so easy to put together, and I've chosen 2 out of 3 screw caps, which saves time as well.
Absolutely.
It's all about saving time. The first one I'm going to give to you, it comes from a Romanian immigrant that has landed in the Okanagan, and he makes one of the best Pinot Noirs I have tasted out of the Okanagan. You can just sense this, the sensuousness of the dish is going to work with the sensuality of the wine.
Yeah, I was just, enough said. Okay, next.
This is the Torre Mora Primitivo. So we're going to go back over to Italy. Primitivo, if you notice the name Primi, it means early. It's an early ripening grape, and in fact, it is the European cousin to Zinfandel.
Okay.
And it was created by sending clippings over from Croatia for a marriage that was between the Prince of Puglia and a Croatian king. I don't know if the marriage lasted, but certainly the grape did.
Who cares?
And I chose this wine because there is just such a subtle earthiness. Picture a room of pillows and flowing gowns, and it's just, there's so much
gods sitting on Mount Olympus, as you say, in togas and just relaxing and enjoying. But
pick out the earthiness that comes out, the risotto, the mushroom risotto, the sausage. Oh, that'll be just fantastic.
Outstanding selection.
Along the same theme, we got this was out of California, and a lot of the California wines now are starting to get into blends. You know, juicy red blends. Pothic is probably the most famous one, but this one is called Plush. And it's a blend of a Zinfandel, there's some Grenache and Barbera, a little bit of Merlot, but it is just all about hedonism. Much like a good risotto, you know, you just put it on your tongue and it's just about hedonism. It's not about anything else.
It's luxury.
It is, exactly. So raspberries, big round mouthful.
Big fruit.
Absolutely.
Big fruit in that. As you say, that raspberry, that strawberry, that cherry, it's all blended together there. That's delicious.
There's like a little caramel finish on it too, a little bit of earthy caramel.
Well, Rod, to go with our risotto, you are an absolute wine maestro.
Oh, molto bene, mille grazie.
Thank you. Grazie, sir.
Flavours of the West Coast is made possible by the generous contributions of the Victoria Pub Company, Country Grocer, and Fortis BC.